After World War II, millions of Jewish people were looking for a place to call home, and many of them wanted to go to Palestine. But the problem was that the British, who controlled Palestine at the time, couldn't really manage the growing conflict between the Jewish people moving there and the Arabs who already lived there, so they referred the matter to the newly formed United Nations for help. They wanted all of Palestine to be one single state. But the Jewish leaders liked the plan. They saw it as a step closer to having their own state after centuries of wandering. They accepted the plan and said, "Great, we'll take this part right here." And they even agreed to give up some of the land they had been occupying to create a contiguous Arab state. And in 1947, the UN proposed a plan to partition Palestine into two separate states, one for the Jewish people and one for the Arabs. But the plan wasn't perfect. It would give the Jews 56% of the land, but only 43% to the Arabs. Even though the Arabs made up about 75% of the population, both sides have legitimate claims to the same piece of land. And the reason that this conflict has lasted for so long and caused so much suffering is that neither side is willing to give up. The plan also called for Jerusalem to be an international zone under the control of the United Nations. The fighting ended and Israel declared itself an independent state. But the borders of the state didn't follow the UN's plan. The Israelis took more land than they were supposed to, and the Palestinians lost even more land than they were supposed to. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were forced to leave their homes and become refugees in neighboring Arab countries. Now, this didn't sit well with the Arab leaders, who felt that the plan was unjust and unfair. But the Arab leaders rejected the plan and said, "We don't want your stinking plan." And so civil war broke out between the Jewish and Arab communities in late 1947. It was a brutal and bloody conflict that lasted until 1949. In the end, the partition plan was never fully implemented. Okay, so the big takeaway here is that the Arab-Israeli conflict is really a land dispute. If you want to better understand global politics, stay tuned for more insights.